Well, the 3-point shooting, they shot it really well, and we didn't. Really is one of the big things, I think. Little bit turnovers as well. Obviously, they in the offensive rebounding, and they did the numbers game pretty good tonight. High turnovers for us, lots of offensive rebounds, and hit the threes. But again, I think Bona had a good night off a back-to-back, which was good to see. Blocks, protecting the rim. It's good to see Lonnie. I think Lonnie's back and recovered. Good to see as well, and that was a better night in some respects for Hood Schifino as well, who has been struggling a little bit lately as well. So that's about it.
Did you like Ricky being able to get into the paint a little bit more tonight than maybe in recent games?
Yeah, he did a decent job. I like, again, his rebounding. It's one of the big things. 11 boards, 9 defensive. And I talked about this a couple games ago. When he gets the defensive rebound, we want him to turn and push and get to the paint and create some offense. I thought we did a poor job in the second quarter we got into the paint, but we took way too many shots over multiple defenders instead of making the right read out, and that sent us on a little bit of a lot of a dry spell, which also translated to some tough transition defensive situations.
You mentioned Lonnie. Once he got healthy, I guess what were sort of the steps with him to sort of get him back to feeling like in some sort of...
Yeah, I think that we know kind of the way we went through the protocol and getting him back, and he just still wasn't quite feeling right, so he kind of had to go back through it again. But obviously he's feeling a lot better. I thought he was making good decisions tonight. The leading scorer, but also the leading assist guy, right? So he was finding the right plays out of there too. I just thought he did a good job of attacking and reading what was in front of him all night long. Played really solid, I thought.
Dem is up to, after tonight, 70% at the free throw line for the season.
Yeah.
How much have you guys changed or tweaked any of his mechanics? I mean, we see him after practices working on threes specifically, which that's not part of the game flow yet, but getting to the 70% threshold is probably pretty important for him.
Yeah, so our guys have worked with him right from when we drafted him of getting the mechanics a little more solid. And you can see that showing up in the free throws because he does have the time to kind of, I think the next step for him is again being able to do that a little bit faster clip, right? Like actually like being able to stop in there and shoot those, when there's some speed and game flow. But that takes some time when you've tweaked some mechanics. But he works pretty hard. He's also got really good touch. He's got pretty good feel for arc and distance and stuff like that. So again, it's just got to be repped like crazy till he gets more comfortable and he can speed it up. Yeah.
Piggybacking off of that a little bit, there was one drive he had where he made a pretty nice move underneath Robinson, just couldn't quite finish it. But is that kind of going into what you were talking about before, wanting to see guys do different things, kind of maybe explore?
He can do that a little bit. I think he can drive it a little bit against, and I think that's part of what you got to be able to do. I mean, the main thing is are you going to be a safe ball transfer guy, when you're trailing, and can you get it side to side, and can you do the DHOs and all that kind of stuff. But when there's extreme pressure, which there was tonight, then you're going to have to beat your guy once in a while and make him pay for that. So it's good. I wish that, some of those dump-off dunks that he had, there was probably another half dozen to 10 of those available. I wish we would have kept finding him on those because their big was protecting the rim and we weren't finishing very well. I think the play was to continue to drop off to him. I love that when he kind of comes in from either the corner or the dunker spot and finishes. That's what you got. You got to make that big pay for over helping, and that's good too because he's like super explosive in those. Like those are plays that again, if you can make those consistently, then the layups will start happening because the big will be a little bit less aggressive to go protect the rim.
What did click for Hood Schifino tonight? You mentioned him as well.
Yeah, I just think he finally got some clearance on some stuff. The first few games he was really able to kind of get to his spots and bounce people and get back and shoot. Again, pretty good touch and good shooter. Once he gets in, feeling good, it just felt like he had a little bit more pop and bounce tonight. And I think that, again, I think he just looked like he was feeling better to me, and that always helps for him to be able to get to those spots. I think he's pretty good. He's pretty strong. He can, again, take the physical contact and score some of those, create the space with the physicality sometimes. And again, I think he's a good shooter with good touch. Once he does do that, yeah.